Dan, I never knew that you are a do-it-yourselfer.
Sometimes I am, and sometimes I am not. But yeah, I've done a few DIY projects in my day.
You strike me as the type of person that will pay someone to come do it for you.
Mostly those are the projects that I've already tried myself, and then I realize what's involved. So the next time I have to do it, yes, I will then pay someone.
Because you don't work on your own vehicles, right?
Nope, I've never done really any automotive DIY
Yeah, you
projects.
don't do your own house repair. Like, didn't your roof and stuff get damaged? You paid someone to do that too,
Well, I
or your
mean
siding in your house.
that was a pretty big project, but little minor things I've attempted.
The the elaborate Shangri-La in your backyard, your back patio and your swimming pool and your fire pit. Did you build that yourself?
That I did. That was all done by these two hands right here.
Oh wow! So you do have woodworking skills?
To a certain degree, I don't know how high on the skill uh, ladder they are, but yeah, I can put a nail in and run a impact driver.
Uh huh. Or something like that. Yeah, that's one thing. Dad was a woodworker. I'm not. If I were to ever build anything out of wood, it would look like something from the Cat in the Hat, or the crooked man that lived in a crooked house.
Yep. And
You'd
I,
have to
I added
close.
the carport onto, or the lean-to onto the carport. I built that all myself. So
Well,
there's a
you
few
built
things.
that carport too, though. That's do it yourself. That's pretty
Yeah,
ambitious.
that has a few minor, I guess, cosmetic appearance. There's a few things that aren't quite lined up in a few spots.
Yeah.
But it's I'm the only one that uses it, so I don't see it.
Uh huh. Yeah. So the reason I bring this up, I was just feeling terrible the other day, just awful. And I thought, this is a good time to watch one of Dan's videos. And and I saw that you and your son you did a task together.
That is correct. We recoated the driveway, put on some sealant,
Yeah.
driveway sealer, whatever you call that, black gooey tar stuff.
Uh huh. And did you have to throw your shoes away when you were done?
I did not. I wore an old pair of Crocs, so I have that covered. I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah. What got into you? Why not? Because that's like one of those jobs that it's probably just good enough to pay someone to do it for you.
Well, see, this is the opposite. A few years ago, I did pay someone to do it, and that person stopped by again a couple weeks ago, gave me a quote, and then when I was talking to my son about it, he's big into construction and road repair, trail building, highway maintenance, and he thought it would be a good idea if we did it ourselves because he wanted to see what it was like to coat the blacktop on the driveway.
Uh huh. I like watching it being done. It's very satisfying.
Yes, and that's what we did. We started watching some videos, and let me tell you, the people that do 15 to 20 driveways a day, they really make it look easy.
Yeah, they do. I pay a guy. I think we do about every other year. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. And he shows up. I think his truck was once white, but now it's black. Everything he has on the back of the truck is black. They get out, their shoes, their pants, everything is just, I think they were once blue jeans or black jeans. Their shoes are black. Everything they have is just covered in that stuff. I would think that would get old.
Yeah, it can be a little messy. So I'm glad that it's just we put on the stuff that's rated for 8 years. So I'm guessing in about three we'll probably have to do it again.
8 years.
But
Eight years plus or
the guy
minus seven.
yeah, the guy wanted $600 to do it.
Yeah.
and we were able to buy all the materials for right around 3. So, it saved us some money.
Yeah. Did you get into the middle of it and you think, this would have probably been worth it to pay the guy to do it for us?
Well, not really. I was mostly doing just the mixing, and then my son was doing a lot of the spreading and squeegeeing or whatever. So
Uh huh.
he did almost all of it. And then we did come to a point where we measured everything out ahead of time. I did my calculations, and it came out that on the buckets it says will cover 250 to 350 square feet. So I used 300 as my
Yeah.
baseline. And then I divided my total square footage by that, and it said I needed 8.75 buckets.
Yeah.
But I actually needed 12.
I was going to say, when did you have to drive back into town and get more?
So we were about little over 3/4 of the way done, and we ran out. So we had to make a trip and get some more.
You should have got one of those YouTube accountants to calculate all that for you.
Well, I mean, I thought I measured. I was, our driveway kind of tapers down at the end, and so I measured like extra wide and long, and yeah, but the driveway was pretty wore down, so I think it needed a lot
It,
more coating than.
it absorbed a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the smell of that stuff. I don't know. I got a weird palate, evidently. I love the smell of gear oil, of new tires, and like a fresh paved road, or, the
Yep.
X10 seal or whatever they call that stuff. I used to work at a Sears Auto Center, and our whole basement was where all the tires were stored on racks. And I would just go down there just to smell the tires. Loved it.
Yep. That's when we leave Costco, every time we go to Costco, when you're walking out, they have the tires all lined up.
Yeah.
And you walk past those, and yeah, you catch a
Oh,
whiff of that aroma.
yeah, I love the smell of new tires. Yeah. So anyhow, Dan, I was having just a terrible day, and I thought, I'll just watch one of Dan's videos. And I saw that you had a task, a father-son task, and I thought that was kind of nice.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of him. The little guy wanted to do it. He talked me into doing it, and then he did most of it. So it was win
Uh
win
huh.
win.
All right. Way to go.
But
Yeah.
speaking of watching videos,
Yeah. Yes.
I did notice watching one of yours the other day that you looked to be a little how do I want to say this? Slow moving.
Slow motion. Yeah.
you looked like you had a long day,
I
but it looked pretty early in
did.
the morning.
Well, it was early, but not early. But I didn't notice it until after I watched it too. And I was like, gosh, I look terrible. I was just worn out. And it was a Saturday morning. And we were planning a family outing. And we were going to be gone for a while. And I had to get doubled up on all my deliveries to the restaurants because I can't have them hit when I'm out of town. So I just worn out. And then I had a headache. Whenever these temperature changes come, I don't know if it's the air conditioning and then the humidity or something, but my left head starts hurting me. And and it just knocks it. So I don't know. Do you suffer headaches, Dan?
Not too often. No.
No. If someone were to ask me, do you suffer headaches? I say, no, I don't. I get probably one about once a month, but only, I think it's sinus with the weather stuff. But back when I was younger, in the early and mid 90s, I started suffering headaches. And I mean, not debilitating to where I couldn't move, but to where I was miserable. I remember pulling off to the side of the road a couple times because of massive headaches. And I had it for a few years. And it was when I traveled for work, and I dealt with this, and it was just miserable. And everywhere I went, I would go to like the store where I was working, and I would just be slow motion. My head's killing me. My head's killing me. And I would just complain out loud, oh, my head's hurting, you know? So I was in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and I will never forget this. The guy's name was Tony. I won't say his last name, but I remember it too. He comes up to me and he says, Joe, he says, if you would quit drinking that Dr. Pepper, your headaches would quit. And that was what I always had a Dr. Pepper with me, Dan. I used to travel. I lived in my car, just driving from town to town. I drove all over the United States. And it was just something for me to do, to stop at a gas station, get out, stretch my legs. And then I would go buy a bottle of, 20-ounce bottle of Dr. Pepper. Back then, 99 cents.
Ooh,
They're
yeah.
not that anymore, I'm here to tell you. Good heavens. So I, at that point, was desperate. And I said, I am going to take his advice and I'm going to try and quit drinking Dr. Pepper. I had 2 weeks of withdrawals. I was lethargic, just massive headaches. And right around like going into the second week, a snap of my fingers, my headaches quit. It was from Dr.
Huh.
Pepper. I was an addict of sugar and whatever else they put in that stuff. High fructose corn syrup.
But you drink Dr. Pepper now.
I occasionally have a Dr. Pepper.
Oh, okay.
Not like what I used to.
Ah,
I mean, multiple a day back then. And here, I think it was because I would get them all the time, but mostly too heavier on the weekends. And I noticed I didn't drink it on the weekends because I wasn't driving in my car.
hmm.
And I would get these real bad headaches, and then they would go away on Monday, but then they would start coming back. It was terrible. Anyhow, my head hurt so bad for so long that even when it wasn't hurting, I had a habit of complaining that my head hurt. And even though it wasn't hurting, that's how long I suffered with these headaches. And then I just quit drinking Dr. Pepper. They went away, Dan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. You
And
would
they haven't come back until YouTube.
you you would think with taking in all that fluid, because usually dehydration is one of the reasons you get headaches is you're
Yeah.
dehydrated. But it
It was
sounds like you
probably
were.
the sugar or the caffeine or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be.
But I was in that bad a shape, suffering headaches, that I would do anything. And I loved my Dr. Pepper, and I just quit it cold turkey. And I was miserable. And for some reason, though, that misery I was in made my brain realize I was on the right path.
Hmm.
And once I got through that, I was good to go. And I never went back either. Heck with that. Ugh, that's terrible. I am very sympathetic with people that suffer headaches and stuff, because you, I don't know, we're impatient with people. We don't want to hear it and stuff. But man, when I hear people suffer migraines and all, and whew, I, I'm sympathetic to
And now you've discovered that the source of your headaches is making firewood. So
them.
you're gonna have to probably cut back on that, or what?
Yeah.
Or the stacking firewood. Which is it that's causing the headaches?
No,
Working in the
it's
wood yard.
it has nothing to do with the firewood. I think YouTube gives me a headache anymore when I look at our numbers. Yeah. I think my last video, I think like 4 people watched it. What's up with YouTube, Dan? YouTube stinks.
And it's going to get worse if you are new to YouTube. Man,
You think?
they're really changing
Oh,
a lot of stuff up.
they've moved the goalpost.
Yes, which
Wow.
is pretty crazy.
Why would they do that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. My guess is that they just, in a sense, want to maybe they're just making it tougher, and I think they're just getting too many people wanting to be YouTubers.
Yeah, I
So,
don't know. I think it's because back when I first started YouTube, there wasn't ads on every video. There would only be ads on the videos of the people who monetized.
yes.
Because I remember when I first started, there was some big YouTube channel had a scorched earth video where they were leaving YouTube forever because YouTube has started putting ads on every video. And they just thought that was terrible. And I remember too, when I first got monetized, I started having ads. I was a little self-conscious. People are going to start getting mad. There's a lot of socialists out there, Dan, that don't want to see someone make money. So yeah, so they were very upset when you would get monetized on YouTube. And but now they put ads on everything. It doesn't matter if you just filmed your your stove, before you left to go on vacation just to have proof that you turned it off. And you put that on YouTube, it's going to have an ad on it. So I
Yes,
think that the fact that they've moved the goalpost on new people, it's because they don't have to pay them for that ad until they get to another threshold.
that could be. And for
Yeah.
those who aren't aware, the current requirements to be monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, which means people have had to watch your videos for 4,000 hours in 1 year.
And that's
And
the way it's been forever, though, right?
yep, and starting next year, it's going to be 8,000 hours of
That's
watch time.
practically double.
Almost. It's pretty close to being double.
Wow.
It's twice as much.
Uh huh.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe shorts played a little bit to do with that too. I don't know.
I think it's just getting to be, well, to your point, they have so many creators or people on YouTube now. And so if they raise the bar to, like you said, they don't have to pay out as much
Yeah,
because they're putting ads on everything, no matter if you're monetized or not.
yeah, and they get paid,
And
obviously.
they get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
going to be tough.
I think if you just look across the board from everyone, even the gigantic channels, everyone's pretty much their views are down a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I remember in the old days, I look back at some of my old videos, I could just snap my fingers and get 20,000 views. Easy. And
Yeah.
now, if you can get to 10,000, you're having a good day.
Yeah. I've noticed big channels with, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, millions of subscribers,
Yeah.
and their videos perform terrible. I mean, like 1% of their subscriber base in
Uh-huh.
views, just, yeah, it's,
That
I don't
is
know.
true. There's like channels that have 1 million subscribers and they'll get the same amount of views on a video that I do.
Yeah.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah. But there's a
Yeah.
lot of, now you have channels that are created with just AI creating all the content. You have
Uh-huh.
people that will create one long form video of they'll do an interview for an hour and then they'll clip that hour into 60 new videos that are just short. I mean, there's just so much content out there
Yeah.
that it's ever changing game. It's always changing.
Yeah, but there really hasn't been a new platform that's come online that's siphoning views from YouTube. It's still pretty much the same ones. There's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
Yep.
YouTube, right?
Yes. YouTube is the king when it comes to long form content,
Uh-huh.
however. And
But the money is pretty down on Facebook too. I remember a couple years ago, Facebook, they really came on strong and man, people were making a lot of money on Facebook.
it was
But
crazy.
yeah, but not anymore. I'm in my sixth or I don't know, Dan, my seventh year now. I've lost track. I can't count past 5 in YouTube. And then, I kind of got into Facebook too when their numbers were starting to get way up. It seemed like there was this hope, and there are people out there who have made a lifestyle change with this where they're making serious money. But for us normal people, it's not chump change, but it's not life changing money either. But I don't know, man. It's got to be hard for, like I said, there's some outliers out there, but for like normal people and stuff, it's getting pretty slim pickings, don't you think?
Yeah, and I think people's expectations have just changed. I mean, Facebook, like you mentioned, they started out trying to lure a lot of creators over to their platform and they had some pretty serious like bonus programs, and they were really
Yeah.
really throwing stuff out there to get people on creating content. And now that they have so many, they've pulled back as well. But it's like, if somebody can make a couple $100 a month, I think people are happy with that, just
Uh-huh.
posting content. But yeah, I don't think anyone's planning to give their notice at their job and go full-time content creating anymore, because it's just,
Yeah.
and you never know, it can, like right now with this YouTube thing, they can just change it up next year to where they say they might have some type of requirement that you can't even reach anymore.
Yeah. I recall a few years back, you and me had a discussion about if you had to do one or the other, what would be the more reasonable route? Facebook, or social media, YouTube, or your firewood business. And I recall feeling that I had more control of my life with my firewood than I did with YouTube, simply because they could just snap their fingers and change everything. Or they could snap their fingers and just rob you blind, and you would not even have a clue that they were ripping you off,
Yeah,
because of the
exactly.
dashboards and stuff. I mean, they populate that with data, and you look at it like, oh yeah, this is, you don't know what the heck they're doing to it. It could be anything.
And every video is different. You can have 5 videos with equal amount of views, but your earnings from each of those videos are different. So it's, yeah,
Yeah.
you have no control. You have no knowledge really of
No.
how it's calculated, what you're making. But it can be
Yeah,
a challenge.
that's totally true. I had a video, they're probably like 2 months apart. One had like 5,000 views and the other was like 20,000, and they both made the same amount of money. Just explain that. It's hard to explain
Right.
it. It's hard to understand it. At least though, YouTube, I've said this before, YouTube at least is understandable. The big unknown to me is Facebook. I can't make heads or tails out of Facebook. I don't have a clue what they're doing and how they report and what you click and where you find this and that. YouTube, you can find what you're looking for. Facebook, I don't have a clue.
Yeah. If you have to use the professional dashboard, and then you can kind of start. But it's a lot different than
I need
YouTube.
a Fisher Price dashboard instead of a professional dashboard. I need a dashboard of 3 big buttons, a yellow, a red, and a blue one, like a Fisher Price piano.
You
That's what I need.
need the hobbyist dashboard.
I do. I do.
Not this professional
Nah,
nonsense.
not those professional nonsense. I need the hobbyist one.
But yeah, it's an ever-changing game. It's kind of like, it's one of those things where now things are moving in different directions, and you either can, adapt and take on the new challenge and try to figure it out, or just get frustrated and say the heck with it. It
Yeah.
ain't worth it anymore.
Well, I suppose you can keep at it and keep doing your videos and just keep doing your thing. Or if you actually had fun sealing your own driveway,
Yeah.
you and your son can just drive around town in your tar stained clothes and start doing that.
I did ask him if he wanted to start a little side hustle doing that, and his response was no.
Yeah.
A one-time deal.
Yeah. He'll stay with the firewood. Yeah.
Yep.
He'll stick around watching Dad do the firewood.
Yep.
Uh-huh. All right, Dan. Well, congratulations on your DIY enterprise, and let us know how close you are to retirement now from sealing driveways.
Yeah. I saved a few bucks, and we'll see if 8 years from now how many times I've had to redo it.
Yeah. Try not to track any of that tar onto the carpeting of your new Maserati from sealing driveways. All right. Well, Dan, what do you say thank everyone for tuning in and listening to the Woodhounds podcast, but let's just say that we are ready to strike up the band.
Yes, strike up the band, and we'll see you back here on your favorite streaming platform next week. or in the following weeks.
Well said, Dan. You have a special way with words. All right. So let's challenge you then, Dan, with your grasp of the English language by telling everyone out there to seal
Your driveways
and try to have
no headaches.
and have
A great day.